Hey again, folks, it's Vic Noble here, and this video is going to be about the real magic of using support resistance levels effectively. Um, Key levels of support and resistance are really critical areas to watch because they tell you in advance where we can expect price to react or reverse. And by knowing these levels, it gives you a price level to zero in on, a place where you can either consider a trade or maybe take profit on a trade that you're already in. Now, first of all, I want to reiterate a point that I made in the video on market flow. Higher time frames have more strength. This is just so important to understand. So please make sure that you really get this. My worst traders, the worst traders I've ever worked with, and I've coached well over 1,000 people. They tend to spend a lot of time on 5-minute and 15-minute charts, and it's just the wrong way to go. The really good traders are the opposite. They spend most of their time on the hourly charts, right on up to the monthly charts. They only use the smaller time frames for fine-tuning their entry. So you just try it. You'll be amazed at the difference in your results, and you'll also find trading to be a lot easier. You just see things much more clearly. Okay. Now, when you're looking for support resistance levels, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and even the daily charts are the best for day traders, and of course the higher time frames are if you're trading longer term. And there are a couple of different reaction points, or key levels as we call them, to look for that we're going to cover right now. First of all, if price is trading and holding above an old resistance level, okay, so I'll show you what those are in just a minute. But if it's trading and holding above an old resistance level, we look for that level to become support once price retests it. And alternatively, if price is trading and holding below an old support level, we look for that level to become resistance once price retests it. Okay, and the second type of reaction level to watch for is simply a retest of an old high or an old low. So, say price is going up and it's coming up to some old highs. This can be expected to be resistance again. Okay, so let's take a look at a chart here and see if we can show you what I'm talking about here. Now, on this 4-hour chart, this is the US CAD pair, just so happens to be. It could be any chart. Let's look at an example where I'll show you a few here, where old resistance, let's just look at this, an old area of support that gets broken to the downside. And when I say broken to the downside, I mean that price broke below the support and traded and held below that level. And when you see this, you want to watch for that level to become resistance once price goes back up to retest it. Okay, because this becomes a potential selling opportunity. Again, this is known as a key level. So this used to be support. Can you see that? Price hit it and bounced off. It went below it. It came back up and retested this level. And look, all we got is wicks. Price couldn't hold above this level, trade and hold above it before finally coming down. And this applies to any resistance level that you see. You want to see price hit it and trade and hold above it, but it couldn't do it. And just as a general, I just got to tell you this too. These are not exact numbers. There are sort of zones in here. Again, you see the price didn't trade and hold above it, so we watch for potential setups that we recognize it for selling. Okay. Once a resistance level. Okay, so the same thing happens. If you get a resistance level that is established, okay, and price breaks above that resistance level and holds above it, trades and holds above it, that level tends to become support, and it's a buying opportunity. So see, this was resistance here. Yeah, see, even here, it was resistance. It was resistance again. Price finally broke above it, and when it came back, the old resistance tends to become support. And look at the bounce you get in here. Okay, does that make sense? So really important ones to watch out for. Now, the other type of reaction to look for is just simply when old highs or lows get retested. And in these cases, just look for those old levels to hold again, or at least initially. So you can see, like, this used to be resistance. Price is going up and it hits resistance again. And look what happens to it. It finally breaks through it and hits the next resistance level up. And look how it falls off like that, you see. Here is resistance. It gets retested again. It falls off. This is actually current, live right now. It's actually struggling in here again. Okay. So, and it's the same thing. Old support level, like say here's a support level. Price starts to come down, and it comes down to an old support level. Actually, this used to be a resistance level and a support level. This is a very good area in here. You can look for that to become an area to look to buy. Okay. Now, this is really important. We don't just simply buy or sell at these levels. Okay, you can, but I have a better way to do it. I have several better ways to do it that are beyond the scope of this session. But just to give you an idea, what we do is we look for a recognizable pattern at these levels, patterns that I teach, that give us an edge. Okay, and then we structure a trade accordingly with very, very small risk, and that's a real key. If you can put a trade on here with like 20 or 30 pips risk, with profit potential of 100 pips or more, you've got a really nice reward to risk ratio, and that's the kind of trades I like to look for. Okay, so the gist of all this, well, just what I just showed here of using support resistance levels in your trading is just to identify these different levels and look for trades around them. You know, it's one of the most powerful things that you can understand in trading, in my opinion. And you get good at this and you're going to have a nice trading career, and it can make a huge, huge difference in your results. Okay, so hope that was useful to you and that you got some benefit from that explanation. Go have a look at some charts and you'll see what I mean. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.